So good afternoon everyone, and thank you for this opportunity of introducing Jinko Solar. So, as our motto says, trust is a serious matter at Jinko Solar. Trust in the products, in the quality and the reliability of the products that we supply, and trust in the financial strength of the company. We like to demonstrate these strengths that we have as a company, as a corporation, with facts, solid facts that are demonstrated officially, even with third-party advisors, which can confirm that Jinko Solar is, according to the last references since last quarter, final quarter of last year, the largest module manufacturers globally. We have 6 factories in different locations with 33 subsidiaries and offices. We delivered up to almost 20 gigawatts so far in 80 different countries. And we have a capacity, current capacity of almost 8 gigawatts, which will reach 8 gigawatts this year. As you can see from the figures, the growth rate that Jinko has is by far beyond the average industry level, and the market share that we reached the last year is almost 10%. So, Jinko Solar is the largest module manufacturer, is also the first company in terms of profitability and in growth rate, and that is also thanks to a solid and diversified customer basis that, as you can see, is spread all around the globe. Of course, mainly China and North America currently represent the main markets for Jinko Solar, but we are present in all the regions active in the PV industry. In particular, China and USA showed the fastest growth rates in the past, 2015 and 2016 especially developed a lot. But also in Europe and emerging markets and Asia Pacific, we share a pretty significant presence in this market. In terms of market share, detailed market share, Ukraine, as you can see, is one of the most successful countries we are present right now with a 40% market share. And in terms of details about revenues and gross margins, as you can see, starting from 2013, after the big shakeout which happened in 2012, Jinko Solar was one of the fast growing companies and consolidating companies which kept a stable margin along the years. And then in terms of official references, we always like to refer to the Bloomberg list, which shows the Tier 1 manufacturer. And the last quarter, Jinko Solar was ranked as the first one in the list, which gives peace of mind to the customers and to banks, especially in terms of bankability. No one has doubts about the bankability of Jinko Solar. As I said, the quality of the products, the reliability and the financial strength is so high that banks always put Jinko in the whitelist for the bankability. And this allowed us to grow a pretty large customer base of reliable customers that are present in all the global markets. And in terms of type of installation, as you can see, the customers of Jinko are present with a solid installation basis globally from China, US, Europe, Latin America, and the products are used for any type of installation, from large ground-mounted PV parks to smaller residential industrial applications. Jinko is also present in all the main events globally in terms of official talking about market, industry situation and perspective for the future of PV. Then in terms of quality, as I said, Jinko Solar is a market leader not only in terms of financial strength but also in terms of quality and reliability of the products. Jinko Solar is a vertically integrated module manufacturer, meaning that we produce starting from ingots to PV modules. And this allowed us to have a quality control, strict quality control throughout the production chain. We have an ideal, of course, supply chain management, which allows us to optimize the cost structure. thanks also to 10 years of experience in this sector. Also in terms of investment for the R&D activities, in 2015 we spent $22 million for R&D activities. We normally place 1% of the revenue for R&D activities every year. We have hundreds of engineers and technicians working on new patents, new developments to always increase the efficiency of the products and the peak power of the modules. We achieved different world records in terms of peak power of the modules, both on mono and polycrystalline technology. And thanks to optimized production structure and facility, which are almost fully automated, efficient, and with a very strict quality control applied to all our facilities in the globe. And quality is also a big part of the factors that allow us to have such high quality and reliability products in terms of comprehensiveness and accuracy and consistency and global quality control on our production. And in terms of official references, until 2014, Photon Laboratory, for example, was carrying out test reports, field tests, on PV modules, analyzing the yield and comparing the yield of different type of modules. And Jinko in 2012, 2013, and 2014, compared to the peers, has always outperformed compared to the other peers. Our strength is not only in production quality and reliability, but of course a big part of the services that we give is also in the after-sales part. We have a local presence with local technicians and strong support from the headquarters, which allowed us to continuously reduce the claim rates that we have on modules and increase continuously the satisfaction of the customers. Looking at the products portfolio that Jinko Solar has available, there is different technologies we focus on, but the mainstream production, which is what we focus on, because the important thing is not to develop new technologies, but to make sure that the technologies are implemented in production, in mass production. The three main categories of modules that we currently supply are the polycrystalline PED resistance version, the Eagle mono PERC technology, and the optimized module. Talking about the first category, the Eagle class of modules, this particular product focuses on a problem that might occur for different reasons, which is named potentially induced degradation. The consequences of these kind of problems are pretty obvious, and unfortunately, when modules are affected by this problem, the impact that you can have on the yield of the plant can be pretty significant. And looking at the causes that make PED develop, there are different levels linked to the cell and the modules, characteristics, to the environment, and to the system topology and construction. For what concerns the module, our solution to avoid PED is to improve the characteristics of the cells and the materials that we use to laminate the modules to make sure that the PED is prevented. And our modules have been the first ones certified for the most strict requirements for PED resistance, according to the official standards. The Eagle series are available in both 1000 and 1500 watt system, which allows us to significantly reduce the BOS costs when we go to big PV parks for utility scale application. The number of strings that you can have with a 1500 watt system is up to 50% lower. So you can have an idea about the savings that you can have on the system, on the total systems when using this kind of solution. The mono-PERC technology is a very high efficiency solution, especially for mono crystalline cells. The 60 cell module can reach up to 300 watts power, and 72 cell format up to 360 watts. And in total, the module efficiency on the monocrystalline technology can be increased more than 1%. And of course, that's ideal for applications where you need to boost the power, the peak power of the installation with space constraint. The last one we wanted to present is the optimized module with a very advanced technology which is by far more well-performing compared to the standard optimizers or the standard modules. It allows us to have 3 MPPTs per module. It's based on integrated circuit technology, and it's compatible with all the monitoring systems and inverters that you can commercially find in the market. This also is a solution to address specific problems like mismatch, soiling, or hotspots that you can have on the installation. And as I said before, our focus is always to address specific problems and to find solutions which are implemented in mass production that can practically increase the performance of the PV plants on the long term. In this case in particular, for example, you can increase the ground coverage ratio. So it's not applicable only for rooftop application, but also for large PV parks, because you can reduce the distance between the rows and put more peak power in the fields that you have available. And also in terms of cost reduction for the O&M activities, the fact that you reduce the losses due to the mismatch for the soiling and the snow accumulation, it significantly improves the performance of the plant and reduces the losses that you can have in these cases. And that's it. Thank you for your attention.